In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we're discussing social media and relationships. Now, we did a whole section, a couple of episodes on social media and its effect on mental health in general, but we're focusing in specifically on relationships for the next couple of shows. And there's some good and bad, so it's not totally a slam, but stay tuned. We're going to go through the whole thing. And as usual, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown. Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please. Anything but that. No.
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit.
Now you're talking, brother.
I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit to Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? This is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist, and we are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Yes, you are.
We are. That's Matt Fox, the voice you hear.
Yes,
We're hanging out here in the palatial Podcast Your Voice, Southfield Studios.
Yep.
Doing a podcast on a Monday evening as per our usual, and enjoying a beverage.
I'm enjoying a
yeah. I was gonna say, what do you
beverage.
got there? You're clear there, Matt. What do you got going?
7-Up.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Just 7-Up.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's caffeine
It's all
free.
good.
Yeah. I gave up some stuff for Lent.
Ah, okay. Yeah, because we're right in the middle of Lent right now, right?
We kind of are. And not that I've given up caffeine, but I've given up Mountain Dew.
Okay. Well, hey, that's you give up something you enjoy.
And
That's kind of the point of it.
Down 2 pounds.
Well, good for you.
And it's
That's
all
awesome.
it's all in my head.
The pound, you're losing pounds in your head.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
How many cameras are on me right now?
So thank you, folks, for checking in. Let me tell you where you can find me. The website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Check it out. We're less than 3 weeks away from prom and grad season.
Yep.
And we're getting fired up. We're getting ready to rock and roll. A ton of shows in April, May, June.
Yeah.
Beginning of June. So now's the time. If you haven't booked, get a hold of me now at the website, motorcityhypnotist.com/shows. And you can get a quote and you can book your show within minutes. So again, if you need an entertainment person for your all-night party, post-prom or post-grad, now's the time.
Mm-hmm.
My social media links, Facebook and YouTube, are both Motor City Hypnotist, and Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok are all Motor City Hypno. That's HYPNO.
Yep.
And as we've done, we're in episode 288.
Dang.
No, I'm sorry, 298.
Dang.
Today's 298. The next show we're going to record this evening is 299. And then we're going to be on our magic 300 number.
This is Sparta.
So yeah, we're there. As we've gone back all the way to show number 1, free hypnosis guide. Text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510. And then within a few minutes, you'll get a link with your downloadable PDF and also a link to leave a review for it. The wording on that is going to say, I had a great time at your show.
Right.
Just take that to mean we had a great time doing a podcast.
Yeah.
So it's either an in-person show or a podcast or any other kind of show I do.
You got it.
So you can leave a review on wherever you know me from, leave a review for it.
Thank you.
That would be greatly beneficial for us. And again, if you're listening on audio, whatever your platform is, Spotify, iTunes, whatever, leave a review there because that really helps. And give a rating too. when you leave a review, you give a rating, and then more people find the show. That's kind of how it works. So I would appreciate that. All right.
Please do.
It is time.
Here we go.
Here we go.
That's how winning is done.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So this comes from Great Britain.
Okay.
A British grocery store delivery driver saved a woman's life after she didn't answer the door, and he got the feeling that something was wrong.
Wasn't the King of the Britons?
Leonardo, this name's tough. Forgive me. Leonardo Pinto Dantas.
Okay.
Sensed there was a problem and decided to go back for another look in the window, and only then spotted her lying unconscious on the floor.
Oh boy.
It was around 9 p.m. in the coastal town of Poole in southern England when the driver for an Asda store arrived at his next delivery. Everything seemed normal, said the 36-year-old driver. The light was on, the TV was on. I knocked on the door but didn't get an answer. So I called the contact number we had for the delivery, but got no reply. I thought at first they must have gone out, so I looked in the window, but no one was coming. He turned to go, but something didn't feel right.
Okay. The sixth
Quote,
sense.
I
Okay.
believe God made me go back to the window. I pushed some branches away so I could get a better look. And that's when I saw the lady face down on the floor.
Wow.
Thank God she was on the floor. If she were just sitting there,
right,
he might have been arrested.
She's sleeping.
You'd peeping Leandro.
Leonardo.
Not. It's actually Leandro.
Leandro.
Yeah, that's why I'm gonna have a tough time with the name.
Okay.
And it's Leandro.
So Leandro, the non-peeping
peeper,
Tom.
yeah.
But she was on the floor face down.
Yes. He quickly called for an ambulance, and the paramedics were soon on the scene and gave the diabetic woman some glucose to raise her blood sugar.
Oh, yeah.
Leandro wasn't even scheduled to work that night, but he swapped shifts with another driver last minute. I think it was fate that I was called there that day, Leandro told SWNS news agency. I'm just happy that I was there and saved her. While she was being examined by emergency workers, Leandro put the lady's groceries away. A few days later, he visited her home to see how she was doing and brought her some flowers.
That's so nice of him.
Yeah.
Good
The
for
woman in her 60s was taken to the hospital with low blood pressure, but was discharged the next day.
'Tis but a flesh wound.
She was so grateful to Leandro that she wrote a letter to the local newspaper, the Bournemouth Daily Echo, to thank him.
Okay.
Leandro is such a wonderful chap, she said. I can't thank him enough. Chap. I love that word. He did a marvelous job, certainly going above and beyond what I would expect a supermarket delivery driver to do.
Peeping in your windows?
He even came around later with flowers for me. Well, he peeped. He probably thought he owed her flowers.
Right. Take her out
Maybe
for dinner.
flowers and chocolates.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Take her out for
just a
dinner
makeup.
first. Yeah.
The delivery driver has now been nominated for an Asda Service Superstar Award. We are so very proud of the way he handled the delivery, said Heidi Mallinson, the store's online trading manager, and his instinct that something was amiss. He is truly a hero and went totally above and beyond, which in turn probably saved this customer's life.
Oh, absolutely.
So yeah, to Leandro and the woman.
Probably didn't give a name, did they?
They did not.
60-year-old
diabetic. 60-year-old woman. So,
well,
but anyway, still good story. I like you said, he knew something was up.
Right.
He just felt it.
He trusted his instincts.
He did.
He had a gut feeling.
And he followed it.
Good.
And went peeping and saved a woman.
What in blazes are you talking about?
Well, he was looking in the windows. I mean, clearing brush aside. I mean, it's a good thing his neighbors didn't see him.
Hey, Dave.
Yeah.
You want to see something really scary?
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
So it's a great story. Leandro, the driver, saves the woman.
Yay.
Definitely winner of the week.
That's how winning is done.
Yes, it is.
That's one of my
It's always a nice story.
That's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah.
Twilight Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah. John Lithgow.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yep.
The recreation from the Shatner
Yes, the
Yes.
plain one.
Yes.
Yes.
Did
Yeah.
you hear that Mr. Shatner decided to come out with a pair of like a brand of jeans? Did you hear about this?
Oh no.
But yeah, they just couldn't get past the marketing of Shatner pants.
No! No! Don't shut me up!
It's quite pungent. Stings the nostrils.
Did you hear that, or did you come up with that?
I saw that as a.
Oh,
I was
okay,
on
good.
my
That's a good one.
Facebook
Okay,
feed
yeah.
somewhere, and it just popped into my head. Talking about Twilight Zone.
Bringing up Facebook.
So, back to it.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about social media. That was a great segue, Matt.
You're welcome.
Even if it was not intentional, it's great.
I love it.
So our last couple of episodes, we were talking about social media as a whole and how it influences mental health. One of the sections in the shows that we did that we didn't quite cover or didn't quite get to was specifically social media and relationships. So Matt had a great idea. Say, why don't we spend a specific episode or two on that? Because this gets really in depth.
Every once in a
really
while,
involved.
every once in a while, I get a good idea.
No, you get a good idea. You're not totally worthless.
Thanks.
No, it's great. No, it was a great call on that, Matt. And I totally, as soon as you said it, I'm like, perfect.
All right, here we go.
So there are good and bad things about social media when it comes to relationships. So let's cover the positive things first. And these can have a real effect on relationships, good and bad. So we're going to start with the good. Here's the thing one thing that social media helps us do is connect with people.
Yes.
Before social media, if you wanted to talk to somebody, you had to call them on the phone.
No, it was MySpace.
And talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even before MySpace.
Right. So when you were a child.
Yes.
And you would call your friend at their house and you'd have to use the rotary phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you'd get their parent, but not just their parent, their dad.
Yeah.
Their dad would answer the phone.
Yes.
And it would be little you. Can Tommy come out to play? Right. Or now you're a teenager. Again, you're calling not a friend who is a boy, but now a young lady, and you want to talk to them, and their dad gets on the phone.
Answers. Yes.
Yeah. So so it's available. So a close friend of mine, I would call his house, because he didn't have a cell phone, and his father would answer. But his father, great guy, but he sounds just like James Earl Jones. With the deep voice, hello, and you're like, oh my God, it's Darth Vader, and I'm frightened of you.
That's awesome. Okay, let me connect another just quick story. So I met my wife, 34 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a long time, but at the time there were no cell phones,
right?
And I would have to call her house.
Yeah,
her mom and Kendra and her mother sound exactly the same on the phone.
Oh boy.
And I did say something one time.
What's up, sexy pants?
Yeah, something to that effect. And the answer was, this is the mother. Yeah. I do apologize.
Profusely, I would imagine. Yeah.
Yeah. It was funny, but
it was funny. Haha.
Yeah.
But now it's funny.
Now it's funny. We laugh about it now.
Yeah,
but at the time I was mortified. So yeah, social media helps boost connectivity. People that you may not have been ever in contact with, you can be in contact with now. Now, again, there's a fine line here, with Facebook, Instagram, all of these social media platforms. You can communicate with other people.
Yes, easily.
You can send messages, you can comment on their activities. So this kind of helps people stay in touch with people they might not have done before.
Sure.
But because it's convenient, it just makes it easier. Like, for example, friends from high school. Typically what happens, I just went to my 30th reunion last October.
Wow.
And, again, are you on Facebook? Are you on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Then we connect.
I'll find you.
And you follow you. Yeah. So it is a lot easier to kind of connect to people. The other thing it does is it helps improve communication. Now, it might not be the communication that we typically like as far as talking one-on-one with somebody in person.
Sure.
But there's Margaret Morris, who's a PhD, she's a clinical psychologist, and she authored a book, Left to Our Own Devices, Outsmarting Smart Technology to Reclaim Our Relationships, Health, and Focus. It's quite a big book title. But,
yeah, a little bit.
She conducted a 2020 study, and it showed how various people in relationship use technology. And she said that this technology could bring value to a friendship or even a partnership.
Mm-hmm.
So she discussed the benefits of various type of technology. For example, there's one that she gave was a parent sharing a self-help app with their child to work through an argument.
Right.
Or discussing romantic relationships. She says she highlights how sharing images via social media can feel like an extra way to communicate with somebody you might be in a romantic relationship with.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that it does, and this is, I know this sounds a little bit wimpy, but it also allows a person a time and space to formulate the right words if there's any sort of disagreement, or so you don't say something stupid in the heat of the moment. So social media does allow you to take a step back and pause before you do something stupid.
Right.
That is a benefit. The other thing that studies have shown, a 2019 study found that social media might actually help sexual gratification.
Okay. Why would that be?
This study was specifically focused on pornography consumption in the volunteer group, the 379 participants. And the person who did the study said that it could be a bonus or could be a help to a relationship, a sexual relationship, but it's also one of those things that it can go too far.
Sure.
And this is a tough one because it's kind of like, where's that line where too much is a little bit might get you excited and might help your relationships, especially if it's done together, but too much on your own can sabotage your relationship. So the reason I kind of brought this one up, because we're going from positive to negative, but this one I think sits right in the middle of it.
It's a gray area.
It is.
Yeah.
And we'll get into specifics on that a little bit later.
Okay.
So these are the positive things. Connectivity, being able to communicate more effectively if you take the time to do it. And it allows you to be in contact with more people than you typically would without social media, without it at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just give my personal opinion because we're going to get to the negatives. But one of the things that I've seen, especially with clients, is that there can be too much time on social media.
Oh, absolutely.
Just like anything else, just like TV, just like anything that you would spend time doing. So I haven't even gotten into the negatives yet, but in my head, I'm thinking about clients that I work with, and a lot of them spend all of their time on social media
when they have the person sitting right next to them.
Like a husband and wife, let's say, they'll be sitting on the couch and both people are on their phones the whole time.
Yep. I've been privy to that.
And a lot of us have maybe we have partners who may do that. Maybe we do that. Maybe we're guilty of that ourselves. But it is easy to kind of get cut off in your day-to-day stuff being online too much. So when we get to negatives, I'm sure that will be addressed as we go forward on that.
Okay.
So let's start with the negatives. So here's the big problem and kind of the whole thing as far as research goes. Substituting social media interactions, substituting it instead of doing face-to-face, it's going to affect your current relationships, but it's also going to prevent you from making good, solid relationships, additional relationships.
Okay.
Meaning you're not quite up to snuff being in social situations face-to-face.
Got it.
Because you're only on social media.
Mm-hmm.
So that it's going to affect your ability to even be social when you have to be out. There is a there's also another view that comes into this about people with social anxiety, that they are able to socialize online, but they can't do it in person.
It's definitely an issue. It's a problem.
And I'm not saying that that's a bad. It's not a bad thing to be able to communicate with people. However, because that is the easier option, you're never going to push yourself to kind of get over that anxiety or to kind of test the waters, if so to speak.
Sure.
With face-to-face communications.
That's why people they're online and they're kibitzing and they're complaining or they're arguing with somebody online, and there's no repercussions here. They don't know who I am.
No, right. No, well, and that gets in, and we're going to get into that too, as far as the anonymity that social media oftentimes requires. So yeah, if you're not making in-person connections or relationships with people, that social media is only going to take you so far, because it is just words. It is somebody live interacting with you, but it's gonna affect your ability to make and maintain friendships long term. That is the problem. There was also a 2021 study that found that 59% of the people studied reported a prolonged use of social media had negatively affected their social interactions and their family relationships. So again, it's an acknowledgement. Vast majority, 60%. So, not quite 3/4, but
why did you block me? I'm your mother.
I know. Well, seeing that, that happens too.
Yeah.
And that study, just parenthetically, that study was students ages 17 to 29.
Oof. Yeah.
So that's kind of that right now. That's right in that age range where that's all
real.
there is.
That's real.
That's it. Yeah. The other thing that happens over time is that the excessive social media use can negatively impact your quality time, like quality time either with hobbies or with your children or with your partner or with your parents. So it just reduces the amount of effort you have to put out in real life if it's all focused on the device or the tablet or the computer or your phone. So the other thing that happens too, and we're going to, again, I told you we get into specifics here, because the thing that you had mentioned earlier, Matt, is just people just being isolated. I think, or I don't remember the exact anonymity when you're online. Yeah. So what also happens, and this is a big thing that happens, and you can see it. I mean, I right now is the perfect time in history to see this online.
Oh, absolutely.
That people just attack each other back and forth, and there's no consequence.
Have you heard of MAGA?
Like, well, yeah, I'm just saying that there's with the political divide, there's definitely a division. There's also a huge, it can even be just on, I'll give you an example, Matt.
On X?
So I'm in a community group, like for our subdivision.
Oh, okay.
So it's all the people that live in our subdivision because it's an association. So they have a Facebook page.
Sure.
I can't tell you how many times there's these like just little arguments going back and forth. and it's like, they're 3 doors down.
Yeah.
Just go talk to them.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. What were those two families back in old times?
Hatfield and McCoys.
Thank you.
Yes. Yeah. But again, that's a good example where all of these people are in walking distance.
Yeah.
You could talk to any one of them, but, and I see it in this group sometimes.
But there's no really anonymity. There's none of that.
But there is the psychological component of this.
Anonymity, yes.
That even if your name's attached to it, you feel like if you're typing it and hitting send, it's a lot easier to do that than to confront somebody face to face.
They don't like confrontation.
Exactly. It's passive aggressive.
Very.
And this habit spills over into real life where now, okay, you just told somebody off online because they didn't agree with you about something.
Right.
But now you have a disagreement with your spouse. How do you handle that? Because
hold on, let me text that.
No, exactly. Yeah. What's your Facebook? So it takes people's ability away to resolve conflict because they're so used to just saying what they want to say online without the repercussions.
Okay, so this isn't really TMI, but my ex, when they would get upset, it was always text.
Oh, Well,
it was just a rant and just this texting nightmare of question after question after question. I ignored them because
mhm.
I'm working. I'll talk. I'll deal with that when
Sure.
I get home, and then of course didn't want to talk.
Of course. Yeah.
So,
but again, that's kind of this I don't want to call it a trap, but it is kind of that social media has given us, is that, yeah, it's easier to be confrontational and mean online.
Sure.
But you would never do it face to face because
Right.
somebody might punch you in the face. I mean, I'm saying
You're not wrong.
You don't have to experience the real world consequences. Now, we have seen that happen. There are some exceptions to that where people have said or posted things online, and then you go back and see, oh, they were fired from their job.
Yeah.
Because they made a racist slur or a homophobic something or
a sexual thing,
or a sexual thing. Yep.
And they were an elementary school teacher.
Yeah, exactly. So that there is this kind of I don't even know what to call it, because it is morphing into this, and this is the world we live in. So we can't just ignore it and just say, oh, let's just get rid of it.
So let me ask you the question, Dave.
Mm-hmm.
Would you have the job you have today if cell phones, social media were around, were in your early 20s, let's say, and the stuff you got up to?
Yeah, I think I still would.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were a good boy.
I mean, I didn't do anything that crazy. Well, here's the thing.
That's what I'm trying.
As I say to every client that I meet, everybody's effed up in some way or another.
Yes, but what I'm getting at is,
yeah, I would have never had anything that I would have had to say, oh my God, I never should have said that or done that.
Right.
Now, I'm not saying I didn't do stupid things in my life. I mean, I can tell you, and believe me, folks, this is not something to brag about, but when I was college, I mean, times I drove drunk.
Yeah.
It's just stupid. And I can look back on it now and just think,
what was I thinking?
So dumb.
Right.
Dumb. But again, I was 17 years old when I started college.
Sure.
I mean, that's not an excuse, but I'm just saying.
But my point that I'm getting to is, with the amount of cameras that are at us on a constant basis, and you're out in public and everyone's got a phone.
Yep.
And if something happens, people are calling each other out. They're just saying, hey, I'm going to record this because I'm a human being. I don't care about this other person. I'm just going to record them and watch it all happen. Right.
Yeah.
And that's a huge problem with social media.
Well, there is a phenomenon of just not doing the right thing because you want to capture it all.
Right.
Like not intervening. Like if an old woman's getting robbed.
Sure.
And somebody just stands there with their phone and records it and doesn't do anything.
Right.
That's part of this. That's part of the social media
thing
that we have.
That's why I'm glad Mr. Incredible threw his boss through all the walls. He got away. Well, it's a good thing we didn't. We don't cover him. But back to the whole relationship social media thing. Some of this stuff you see in relationships, even partners, spouses getting on each other's phone while they're arguing and they're recording each other. It's just
Matt, do you know how many clients I've had in the past 20 years who will say, okay, wait, let me play this for you. And it's a recording of an argument.
Oh my goodness.
But here's the thing. If I pull out my phone and record while I'm arguing with you, already my interaction is influenced,
right?
Because I know it's recording.
Right.
I'm not going to be the same person I would be if the phone weren't on.
Sure.
It's not real.
Right.
It's not accurate. That's part of the problem that we run into.
Okay.
All right. So listen,
on.
I've riled everybody up, and we're going to get into a lot more.
Oh boy.
I've riled you up. Come back next episode, and we're going to finish this up, and I'm going to give you some specific things that you can do.
Okay.
To not get caught in this trap.
I'm looking forward to that.
Absolutely.
And I hope you are as well.
Yes, absolutely. Those of you on Facebook Live, stick around. We're doing another episode. Those of you on whatever platform you're on, listening to audio, jump ahead one episode, or if it's not there, it will be there in the next Tuesday or Thursday.
Perfect. And don't worry, you'll get riled up all over again.
Absolutely. Because we're going to rile you up beginning of next episode too. Before we leave, somebody needs a home.
Who dat?
Poe
with a P, with the P-O-E?
P-O-E.
All
Poe,
right.
like in Star Wars.
Oh, I mean, not Edgar?
No, not Edgar Poe.
Edgar Allan?
Poe Poe needs a home.
Oh my God. You have been these past 5,
I know
6.
these dogs are so cute.
Goodness.
Look at that face.
What type of a puppy is Poe?
Poe's a mixed breed, male. She'll be about 60 pounds. He will be about 60 pounds.
Okay.
Dog friendly, yes. Cat friendly is always unknown.
Yeah.
Kid friendly, yes. Activity level, medium, high.
Oh, my goodness. You are killing me with this.
I know. You're going to have a whole house full of dogs, man.
So I showed Sunny.
Oh,
to
did you show it to Holly?
Yeah. And she's like, she took it. She goes, why would you do this? Oh, he's a beautiful.
Yeah,
he's a beautiful puppy.
It's beautiful. Poe's DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. He needs a home right now.
Do it.
He's waiting. He wants to sit on your couch just like this.
Just like that.
Give Poe a home.
Please.
He's ready. He was just born in January.
Don't worry.
He's a puppy.
He's Poe.
Poe.
He's not rich.
Just look at the face. That's all you need to see.
He's not rich. He's Poe.
There you go. Somebody will pick him up. All righty, folks. That is our episode for today. We'll be back with social media and relationship part 2. In the meantime, change your thinking, change your life, laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time. In this episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast, we're finishing up our 2 episodes on social media and relationships. We went over some positives last episode, and we also started getting into the negatives. We riled some people up because and I'm going to rile some more people up, but I think this is good things to hear. But what I'm going to give you is some strategies for you to use so that it doesn't have that negative effect on you.
As which party? Both
parties.
Both sides?
Both sides.
Okay.
Yep. And as usual, we're giving away free stuff. Hang in there, folks. We'll be right back.
This sounds like something for the authorities in Detroit.
Well, joke's on you. I'm living to 102 and then dying, like the city of Detroit.
Guys like this antique over here out of Detroit.
Spawned in the hellfires of Motown. Take him to Detroit.
No! No, not Detroit! No! No, please! Anything but that! No!
Stationed in Drambuie. It's worse than Detroit.
We did not have, as a unit, the confidence that we felt like we needed to beat Detroit.
Let's go to Detroit. Now you're talking, brother. I don't think so. He plays for Detroit now.
Do they have many farms in Detroit?
Detroit. It's in Michigan.
I go to school. I know where Detroit is.
Get ready for the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright, originating from the suburbs of Detroit, Michigan. He has hypnotized thousands of people from all over the United States. David R. Wright has been featured on news outlets all across the country and is the clinical director of an outpatient mental health and hypnosis clinic located just south of Detroit, where he helps people daily using the power of hypnosis. Welcome, the Motor City Hypnotist, David R. Wright.
What is going on, my friends? This is David Wright, the Motor City Hypnotist. We are back with another episode of the Motor City Hypnotist podcast.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was scrolling
Nope,
on I'm scrolling on Facebook.
Were you on social media, Matt?
Yes, I was.
All right. I have some stuff for you coming up.
Oh boy, here we go.
That's Matt Fox, the other voice you hear, scrolling on social media. We're here in the palatial Podcast Your Voice Southfield Studios doing a podcast on a Monday evening, and
hey,
Matt's enjoying his 7-Up.
It's empty now.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I got to get another.
Oh boy,
something. I got to find something.
Yeah, go get something. You'll be okay.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So we're here doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, folks, first of all, where you can find me. My website is motorcityhypnotist.com. Needless to say, you've heard it for the last 10, 20 episodes. Prom and grad season are upon us. A couple months away. If you need a hypnotist for your post-prom or your post-grad night party, now's the time to do it because dates are filling up quick.
Come on, do it.
So go to the website, motorcityhypnotist.com/shows, and you'll have a quote within minutes, and you can sign your contract online to make sure you have your date booked. But do it now because dates are closing fast. It's schedule's pretty full or getting there.
Get it. Yeah. You only got a few dates left.
Yep. So now's the time to do it. You can get me on social media. Facebook and YouTube are both Motor City Hypnotist. Snapchat, Instagram, and TikTok are all Motor City Hypno, HYPNO.
I love that.
And as we've done, this is episode 299.
Here we go.
As we've done all the way back to episode number 1, you can get a free hypnosis guide. It's a PDF I wrote, a couple pages, not super in depth, but kind of gives you an overview of what hypnosis is, what it's not, clears up some myths and misconceptions, and it's yours for free. And if you get this, if you text the word hypnosis to 313-800-8510, you'll get a text message within a few minutes. It'll have your PDF, and it'll also give you a link to leave a review. If you're listening to the podcast, you can leave a review on that. If you've seen me in person, you can leave a review on that. If you've seen one of my shows, you can leave a review on that. It all works the same way.
Yeah.
It's all the same business and same person. So review would be greatly appreciated. And wherever you're listening, also leave a podcast review on the whatever platform you're on, because that also helps us to get to more people.
Mm-hmm.
All righty.
Oh, is it time already?
It is time.
Oh my goodness.
It is. It's quick.
That's how winning is done.
All right. What do we got this episode, Dave?
All
Wow,
righty.
that's a lot of writing on that page. Here
Yep.
we go.
It is a lot of writing. This is also from England. We get a lot of our stories from the UK.
Yeah, because they're super
which is
nice.
great. Yeah, absolutely. Ken Kovacs is a self-taught, and he started drawing when he was a toddler.
Oh, as most do.
He was invited to put together his own solo art exhibit at the Tacky Morris Art Center in Taunton, England.
Okay. How old is he now?
After his mother started sharing his creations on social media. Kevin is an 8-year-old boy who taught himself to paint.
Okay. Are we talking like Bob Ross type paintings or what?
The young artist from Somerset even set his own prices for the artwork, which will be displayed until April 29th.
Oh, this is great.
I am happy that people can see my art on the walls, and I hope for another exhibition in London.
He's got
great aspirations.
I love these goals.
Kevin has been exposed to creativity and art his whole life, as both his mom and dad are keen photographers.
Okay, so he's got
So
an
that's
eye.
part of it.
All right.
My husband photographs nature, wildlife, and landscapes, so
Uh-huh.
Kevin was around cameras all the time, and we loved to draw with him when he was a toddler.
Okay, so I'm thinking I'm envisioning Bob Ross here.
Yeah.
Yes.
We bought him all kinds of mediums, paints, watercolors, all kinds of art supplies, and I could see he was enjoying it when he was around 2 years old.
Okay.
When Kevin turned 5, he started sketching, and he took inspiration from all the trips with his family to coastal towns around southwest England. His mother, Natalia, told the SWNS news agency. He loved sketching buildings, and whenever they would be sitting down in one of the villages, he would be drawing.
Okay.
Afterward, Kevin would use Natalia's phone to take photos of his surroundings and begin to draw the images he captured.
That's great.
He then began using color when Natalia showed him winning artwork from competitions around the world. Afterward, Kevin would use Natalia's phone. Oh, I'm sorry, wrong sentence. There was one winning piece from India that was very colorful, and that was the point he started to add color to his drawings.
Huh.
Once people started to take an interest in Kevin's work, Natalia decided to create an Instagram page for her son so she could post all of his art in one place.
8 years old. Okay.
People were asking me all the time about his art. A volunteer from the Tacky Morris Art Center then reached out, showing an interest in hosting an exhibit of Kevin's work, and he happily agreed. He is obviously very happy. We went on the first day the exhibition opened, and a couple of people already wanted to buy his art. He's a natural. You can see he's a natural. You can see he's now really into boats, and he tells me it comes very easily to him. I remember being told by other artists boats are very hard to do, but for him, it's been easy.
This is like
It's a story.
This is like the next.
He's like an 8-year-old savant, like a paint savant, like a
the
Van
next
Gogh.
He's the next Picasso.
Yeah,
He's
something, right. So 8 years old, been painting since he was 2.
I love that.
Drawing and painting since he was 2.
I love that.
So, yeah.
So that, see, even when I was 2, I was eating glue, but you know.
Wow. Yeah, I couldn't even tell you what I was doing. I was probably eating glue too. I'm sure. Yeah, something.
That's great.
But anyway, 8-year-old. If you go to the link will be in the show notes. But there are pictures of his work.
I really want to see those. Yeah. Kevin, what's his name? Kevin
Kovacs.
Kevin Kovacs.
Yep.
Yeah. Huh.
So yeah, great story. I mean, kid's got an art exhibit.
Yep.
He's definitely winner of the week.
Yes.
That's how winning is done.
So did you? I'm not sure if you saw my artwork that's on the roads right now, but I used to draw cars when I was 8, and it looks just like the Tesla Cybertruck. Didn't you have any of those pictures?
I'm sure I did. Yeah, where I drew a car that looked like that because that's all the shape I could do.
Correct.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh man.
Alrighty.
Okay.
So we're talking about.
So back to it.
So yeah, we're talking about social media. Speaking of that, and what its effect on relationships. Now, we covered in the last episode some positives: greater connectivity, the ability to manage multiple friendships at one time, being able to express yourself given time to think about it, so that it doesn't come off wrong. Okay, those are the positive ones. Then we got into the negative ones, and we started talking about things like the first one was substituting social media for face-to-face contacts,
like confrontation.
And over time, how that would not, it's not going to benefit you in real life, because at some point you're going to have to go to work and interact with real people.
Right.
I mean, if you have a job that does that, I mean, there are jobs, I guess you could just be on the computer all day, but yeah, if you're constantly communicating on social media, not in person, you're going to lose that ability. You're going to use that
social interaction.
Just the ability to do it. So here's the other thing that happens. What happens is that excessive social media use can decrease quality time and relationship satisfaction. So there was a 2021 study that was tracking the capability to learn more about the connection between social media and relationship satisfaction. That's what the study was designed to do. So they found that an increase in Instagram usage led to a decrease in relationship satisfaction and increased conflicts with family members and spouses. Increased. Yep. The study furthermore says the dissatisfaction, conflict, and negative outcomes came as a result of the addictive use of Instagram. So there's a study that has a direct correlation to this.
It's just straight up scrolling, or is this just?
Yeah, it's just time. It's time. So here's the other thing, that there's an issue, and I don't know if you've ever heard of this term. I had not. It's called phubbing.
I have never heard that term before.
Phubbing.
Phubbing.
It's the act of snubbing a person in a social setting by focusing on one's smartphone. For example, if two people sit down for a face-to-face conversation and one continues to scroll social media apps and check notifications, that person is phubbing the other.
Got it.
So I never knew there was a word for it.
Neither did I. But.
So even think about just that. Just take that as a snapshot. Two people sitting somewhere. I don't care. It's a restaurant or a park or your home.
You see it all the time.
And one person is just looking at their phone while the other person's just wanting to have a conversation. Yeah. The other thing that happens, again, when this happens and it's with your partner, you can see how this could cause a disconnect or a conflict.
Yeah.
So if your partner's constantly looking at their phone and they won't talk to you, that's going to be a problem. I mean, I don't even know how else to say it. It's like you're ignoring your partner, or you're ignoring your kids, or you're ignoring your parents, whatever it is. It's by focusing solely on your phone, you're just saying piss off to everybody else. That's really what you're saying.
Okay.
I mean, really. Of course, numerous studies regarding that study, or numerous reports regarding that study, show that most people feel that phubbing is rude, which it is.
It is.
It is. and it goes against social norms. So in this, I'm using this term and it's so ridiculous, but I can't stop using it because it's in the article. But fubbing, the fubbies, or people who have experienced fubbing, report a reduced sense of emotional connection, empathetic concern, and interpersonal trust. Makes sense.
Does.
The person's not listening to you. Additionally, this is where it comes into relationships, like romantic relationships. Fubbing may lead to heightened jealousy between romantic partners. Now, this is something that happens, and I'll give you real life experiences.
Okay.
How many couples have had come in and say, "Yeah, I just feel ignored, or I don't feel heard, or my partner doesn't listen to me."
Mm-hmm.
And then sure enough, we get into conversations and it's somebody's just on their phone.
Yeah.
Just
constantly.
Yeah. Like even again, I'll give you random examples because since cell phones, I've been practicing since before cell phones came on the scene. So I've seen the whole transition.
Sure.
But I've had numerous. One great example is, a guy and a woman come in for couples counseling, and he says, we'll sit down to watch a movie, and the whole time
they're on their
she's
phone.
looking at her phone, and I say, aren't you watching the movie? She goes, I'm watching, and then the head goes back down again.
Mm-hmm.
She's playing a game. And he says, you're not watching the movie, you're playing a game. She goes, I can do both. I can multitask. But the whole point is you're just, it's just rude. It's just, you're just like saying, piss off. I don't care about the movie. I'm going to just do my own thing. It's really what you're saying.
I'm sitting here laughing about this because I'm like having PTSD.
I know,
from my previous relationship, my previous marriage, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And laying in bed, and I wish I wasn't getting fubbed.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't feel good to get fubbed.
No,
it doesn't feel good at all.
I don't ever want to be fubbed again.
What in blazes are you talking about?
And that's what I'm striving towards. And yes, the phone's always there, and
right.
And you have to be cognizant. You have to put it aside, and that is difficult in today's day and age.
Well, and I'm not saying this to brag about myself or anything, but if I'm home, like let's say for example, I get home and Kendra might be on the couch watching a show. I'll come in, I'll leave my phone in the kitchen and sit down in the living room. Yeah. I don't even have it with me.
Okay.
And I don't pick it up again until I go to bed, set my alarm.
Sure.
I mean, again, that's simple. I shouldn't get a medal for it or anything, but I'm saying that, but it's a good habit to get into.
It's when you're home, and that is something I've gravitated away from, and I recognize that, and I'm trying to and getting better at just not having the phone next to me when I'm watching TV or what have you. There's really nothing else out there that's really more important than when you're at home. And
so here's the other big thing, and we knew it was coming.
Okay.
Social media provides an avenue for infidelity.
Yeah.
It's just communicating with people that maybe were prior flings, or somebody you dated once, or a friend from high school that you had a crush on. So it is so much easier. And this sounds stupid to say, it's so much easier to be unfaithful now than it ever has been.
Right.
Because you have all the tools to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. And with all the social media out there, you have contacts with people that you never had contact with without the social media.
Right.
So that unfortunately, and I was going to see, there is a study. There was a 2017 study done with 338 married couples.
So 338 times 2.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So they completed a survey, and it said,
what's it say?
I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to the, I don't want to read the whole thing. I'm trying to get to the specifics.
Okay.
Oh, okay. A majority of people reported infidelity related behaviors.
Okay.
So a majority of 338.
Wow.
So over 170 of 338, something like that.
It's 338 couples, you said.
Yes.
So you take that.
Well, it says
2.
338 married or cohabitating partners. So I
okay.
I don't know if that's a total or if that's like sets.
Okay. That's what
but
I'm trying
either way,
either way, yes.
over 50% reported infidelity type behaviors.
What were those behaviors? Do they spell that out?
They don't. But it says the questions on this survey revolved around online activities, emotions, and secrecy.
Interesting.
Yeah. They said the behaviors were the ones who reported these behaviors reported a significant decrease in relationship quality even before they found out about the infidelity part.
Okay.
If that makes sense. So you could kind of say, yeah, people were doing things online they shouldn't have, but their relationship wasn't in a good place before that.
Okay.
But that's not a justification.
Nope.
It's just telling what the study says. So here's that is probably the biggest issue I see with social media as a therapist and people coming into my office.
Is just
and it doesn't even have to be so again, let me give you some real life examples. A gentleman has a Facebook friend who's a female that he used to date in high school.
Okay.
The wife doesn't like it.
Okay, right.
She's not happy about it. She says, I'm not comfortable with this. And the husband says, that was 30 years ago. There's nothing to do with anything right now. He says, yeah, but you're in contact with her right now.
Right.
So what is the need? Why do you need to Well, because they were friends in high school. Yeah, but you're 30 years past that.
Mm-hmm.
What is the end goal?
Sure.
And a lot of times people can't answer that. It's just the ego boost. It's really what it comes down to most of the time.
Yeah, as a man,
probably, or even as a woman,
yeah, probably. You give yourself a little ego, and so they might find me interesting because it was 30 years ago, and they didn't give me the time of day then,
right?
But,
and the other thing that happens, and I've seen this over and over again, where partners will look through their partner's phone,
yeah,
and find stuff they do not want to find.
Sure.
That happens a lot.
You want to see my phone?
Yeah, I'll look through. Oh, my nudes aren't on there.
Hold on a second. Let me make sure.
Oh, great Odin's raven.
It's crazy.
It all boils down to a very big word, trust.
Yes, absolutely. But with these extra things out there, if you're not in a very secure relationship, those things are going to have effect on you. So I'm going to, regardless of where you're at in relationships, whether it's romantic, whether it's family, whether it's parents, whether it's children, if you spend an exorbitant amount of time on social media, you're ignoring parts of your life that should be addressed.
Sure.
If that makes sense. So I'm going to give you some tips.
All right, go ahead.
So regardless of the relationship type, these are some ideas for you to manage your social media so that your most important relationships stay intact.
Okay.
And strong. Putting away smartphones when you're together. Do you go out to a restaurant to have dinner? Leave them in the car.
Mm-hmm.
Put them in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But it shouldn't be out when there's just two people and enjoying a time out.
Sure.
Planning activities that don't leave time for scrolling.
Right. Hiking,
something physical.
Yeah.
Playing golf.
Sure.
I mean,
well,
you can still do that on the golf course.
Hold on a second.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that could happen.
I'm going to call you out on that one.
Yeah.
No, it's if you're something that's keeping your hands busy, bowling, or if you're, I don't know. There's so many things that you can do. Actually, I saw 40 things that you can do on a date for a date night.
Yes.
And you just type it up online. And it just came across a news feed of mine at work, and it was there. And I'm like, oh, that looks interesting. I clicked on it, and it was 40 ideas to do for dates.
Absolutely. Leave your phones outside of the bedroom.
Okay.
Now,
what if you use that for an alarm?
Okay. So and I use mine as an alarm. So I understand that one. Mine is in the bedroom, but it's on silent. It's like on do not disturb.
Sure.
Starting at 10 p.m. till 8 a.m. It's do not disturb.
Got it. Automatically, or do you
automatically? It's programmed in.
Nice.
Yep. And this one should be common sense, but I have to say it. Avoid reaching out to old romantic relationships
when you're in a relationship.
Yes. Because what is the good that can come of that?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing's
really,
going to come good of it.
There is really nothing good except to say, oh, I'm friends with a girlfriend I had in high school.
Sure.
What?
It's just dumb.
Where's that going to go?
It's dumb.
Nowhere. And if it does go somewhere, you're already in trouble anyway.
Right.
So I mean, you're just, there's no reason to even start that, because what if this person that you used to like responds and says, hey, let's get together.
Yeah. What are you
going to do then?
Right.
So it's just starting down that road. You can get pulled into something you might not have intended, but now you're going to do it.
Here you are.
Yep. There you are. Here's the other thing as far as just managing social media. Don't put it, if you have your phone, typically a phone is what everybody uses. Don't put the icon on your front page of your phone.
Which icon are you referring to?
There's my Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
My Instagram.
Okay.
My TikTok.
So you want to hear something really dumb?
Yeah.
I actually have folders for all that.
Perfect. Well, moving social media apps so they're not readily accessible. So you even have to do 2 or 3 steps to get to it.
Right.
Is going to help you not do it as often.
Okay.
Because
fair.
it just takes longer to get there.
Or you know what even works even better? Just deleting them altogether.
Well, that's true too. But
you only use one device for social media, whether it be your cell phone.
That's not a bad thought too. But
or a computer.
I understand people are very addicted to social media.
Yes.
And that's and we'll get into that in a second. But yeah, I mean, just make sure the apps are not readily accessible. That if you have to click 3 screens and go into a folder, that's fine, because it gives you that extra steps to have to go through.
Okay, go on.
Turn off all of your notifications.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
If something's important, somebody will get to you.
If you have a watch, because I have a smartwatch,
yeah,
right?
You have a smartwatch. Yeah.
And when I get a notification on a social media, I tend to look at it. Or when my phone goes off, I'll tend to look at it.
Absolutely.
I'm like, oh, there's a notification. Maybe I want to go look at it. Maybe I don't. It just, So turn that off, because you're not bothered, or put your smartwatch on do not disturb as well.
And just by doing that, you're taking back control, because if you have your notifications on and every time one goes off, you have to look at it. You're not in control of it.
No.
The phone's controlling you.
Absolutely.
The device is controlling you. So if you shut off all notifications, you go check when you want, and then you can look at it. But to have it on all the time, it's and you know how many things come across social media.
Oh yeah,
it's endless. The other thing you can do is on computers, and this may be more for kids than anything else, but you can install browser extensions that don't allow you to access social media on your computer.
Interesting.
So maybe if somebody who tends to spend too much time, or might feel like they might be addicted to it, put that browser on where you can't access it from a computer.
Right.
That will help.
Dave, if I was to pass away, can you do me a huge favor? Can you go to my house and delete my browsing history?
Do you watch Curb Your Enthusiasm?
No.
Oh, well, you know the characters in it. Larry.
Yes.
And his agent is Jeff Garland.
Okay.
And you'll probably know him if you saw him, but Jeff has a heart attack and he's in the hospital, and he says, Larry, you got to do me a huge solid. Go into my room, go on the back of my closet floor.
What?
It's my stash of porn. I need you to get it out.
I've never watched Curb Your Enthusiasm.
You got to jump in.
It's on HBO, I think,
yes,
isn't it?
Yes.
Right. Yeah. That's why I haven't seen it.
Just watch one episode. You'll be hooked.
All right.
I'm telling you, you have to go through it. So yes, don't reach out to old romantic relationships.
Yep.
Oh no, we were talking about turning off social media notifications.
Yes.
And then blocking computer access. Here's the other thing you can do on smartphones. iPhone has a built-in screen time app. You can set your screen time so that you can't access it anymore once that time expires. You can just set it up to say your screen time's expired.
I've always been an Android
so plan
boy.
for an hour a day.
I'm an Android boy. I'm sure it's on there somewhere.
So here's a lot of things that go along with extended or excessive social media usage.
I'm curious.
Depression, anxiety, low self-esteem, misinformation about mental health issues and regular health issues. Exacerbating existing dangerous behaviors, like there are studies that show there's a possible link between social media overusage and alcoholism.
Okay.
It leads to less physical activity,
Sure.
poor sleep patterns,
Right?
Yep,
Because
you're up all night.
Yep.
Decreased productivity at home, school, and work. So the long story short here is there has to be a common sense approach to social media. Yeah, you can say to yourself, "Oh yeah, I'm going to do it less." That's a very vague statement. There's no definitions around it. There's no structure. You have to say, "No, I'm going to commit to say I'm only going to do social media between like 12 and 1 and 9 and 10." I mean, I'm just throwing random times out, but
Right.
but if you spend 8 hours a day on social media, probably we need to start cutting back in increments.
Mhm.
Like, so, okay, let's not do 8 hours for a while. We're going to do 6 hours.
Mhm.
And then we're just kind of, it's like weaning off any other thing that you don't want.
Because you're addicted to it.
Because you're addicted to it.
Right.
Correct.
I get a notification every Sunday.
Mhm.
It tells me where I've spent the most of my time on my phone.
Yep.
What application, whether it be Facebook
Mhm.
or
Yep.
Prime or, messaging, text messages or what have you. It'll tell me where I spend most of my time.
Well, and see, and that's the thing. We have the technology to know we can track all of our behaviors
Oh,
from
yeah.
our phones. The steps you take, your breathing,
Yep.
how many hours you slept,
How stressed you are.
how stressed you are, what your heart rate is. I mean, but these are so we use our phones, our devices for all of those things, but it's built in to so you can limit yourself to social media. You can set your phone up so that you don't have to think about it. It
Sure.
just limits it for you.
So I'm gonna do something here for us.
Yes.
We are in the lentil season.
Yes.
We are in Lent.
Absolutely.
And this is a topic or a thing that you can work towards during
Mhm.
Lent is getting off of the social media
Yep.
for 40 days,
Yep.
41 days, what have you. Try it.
Yeah.
If you're trying to still find something, you may not have succeeded in what you first wanted to do, but you're trying to find something that's going to still help you. There's still a lot of time left.
Yes, absolutely.
Just pick social media just to stay off of it.
Well, and I will make a statement that I'm pretty confident in, that most people spend more time on social media than they should.
Yes.
I think that's a given.
Yeah.
And we could all stand to cut back. So whatever way you decide to do it, if you feel like it's really a big problem, something that you can't manage, that you truly are addicted, then it's time to see a therapist. We can help you. We can set up a structure, specific ways to kind of address this so that you don't feel like you're giving it up. Because I know there is a sense of FOMO when you don't feel like you're in on all of the stuff that's going on.
So you use the term FOMO, a couple
fear of missing out.
There it is.
Yep.
You used that a couple of
Yep.
episodes ago. Just want to make sure that.
So, if you have a group text or group chat in Facebook, or somebody's posting, I don't know, whatever, and you feel like you're missing out, and you got to get in there, and believe me, it's not 99 times out of 100, it's not going to be anything life-changing or something that you need to know.
Sure.
In the one time that it would be super important,
They'll
you're going
call
to
you.
find out.
Yeah, and you're
You're
going to
get it.
You'll get a call.
Yeah, or somebody's going to tell you in person. I mean, if it's that important, you're going to find out.
Right. Knock on the door.
So really, I would encourage everybody to just take an evaluation of your social media, how often you use it, notice when and where you're using it. I honestly, this is the best thing, and I've had clients do this. Keep a log. You can do it on your phone because you're going to have your phone anyway.
Sure.
All of the time you spend on social media, and just being aware of it, it will open some people's eyes. Because if you start tracking it and you're like, holy crap, I spend 6 hours a day just on social media.
I could have cut the lawn 3 times.
Yes. I mean, but then you can put a value on that time. Is 6 hours a day, add that up over a year. How much time are you wasting?
Oh, yeah.
Tons of time where you could be doing something more. And I'm not saying you have to stop social media altogether. That's not my suggestion. But just like alcohol, just like any other thing that you could get addicted to, there has to be a healthy balance.
6 hours a day for a year. That's 2,190 hours.
Holy shit. That's more time than you spend at work.
Divide that by 24 hours in a day. That's over 91 days that you spend.
91 days per year.
Yep.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Isn't it though?
Yes. So again, the biggest thing for everybody out there is to take an inventory, keep a record, just kind of be aware. Sometimes people aren't aware of things that they do. Unfortunately, that's just human nature. And once somebody points it out, you're like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. But once you become aware of it, then you can start kind of just being conscious that, oh boy, I spent 5 hours today just wasting time.
Yeah.
And at least then you can start, you can see it, and then we can start moving towards breaking it down,
right?
Pulling it back, reducing it over time.
Love this.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So cool. That's again, the dangers. I mean, there are some benefits to social media. I mean, we covered those last episode, but the risks far outweigh the benefits to me. I don't know. Just, as a therapist, and I see this a lot, I just feel like sometimes just put it away. Just put it away. It's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I'm
Cool.
I'm gonna continue working on that because I've
no,
done it.
I'm guilty of it myself, and I do have to find myself every once in a while. I'll be like, "Ooh, I have to get off of this."
Yes.
I'll give you an example. Sometimes I'm at work and I get a cancellation or I get a break for a couple hours.
You can hop on YouTube,
and then all of a sudden I'm on YouTube or I'm on Facebook, and all of a sudden I look up and it's time for my next client. And I'm like, "Holy shit!
Right.
Where'd these 2 hours go?
Right.
They're gone."
I was gonna prep.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing how your mind gets lost in it, and you can't keep track of time.
Oh, here you go, Dave. So Kendra just posted, say, give a shout out to my friend's mom.
Oh,
Mama Bear.
Mama Bear. Shout out to Mama Bear.
Yes.
I don't know anything about it or what to shout out about, but
well,
hey, Mama Bear.
There it is.
There we go. Fantastic.
Hi, Kendra.
You too, Kendra. Well, she knows, but
yes.
Yeah. Hey, Mama Bear. Hey, Mama Bear. I got a question for you.
What the fuck are you doing?
I haven't heard
Just
that.
wondered. I know we haven't heard that in a while. I'm sure she'll be okay with that.
All right.
But,
who is it today? I'm really
alrighty.
curious.
Before we leave, I don't know how to say it. Hibery?
It's Hibbery. I'm gonna go with Hibbery.
Hibbery.
Look at that.
There's the name. My finger's on the name.
It's a cute little pitty. Mixed breed pit bull.
He's mixed breed. Yeah, there's a little bit of pit in there. Looks like maybe some sort of lab, or I don't know. The paws are very small though.
Could be a beagle.
Could be. Yeah, could be that. So mixed breed. It's neutered male. He was born April of last year, so still less than a year old.
Yep.
40 pounds. Dog friendly, yes. Kid friendly, yes. Cats unknown. There's Hibbery. There you go, Matt. Look at that face.
Oh boy. Yeah, he's got tiny itty bitty legs.
Yes, and look at those little feet.
I know, he's so cute.
He doesn't have that big breed paw, you know.
Right. But he's still 40 pounds. It's a good size pup.
I think 30 pounds is in his head.
You're not wrong. You need Hibbery. You need to stop drinking Mountain Dew. You'll lose all that weight.
Yes, absolutely. So anyway, people, Hibbery needs a home. DetroitDogRescue.com/adopt. He's ready.
Yes.
He'll sit on your bed just like this, and you can take a picture of him.
Please do.
All righty, folks. That is our show for today. Next week, just to plug it, we're going to have one of my therapists in. Her name's Morgan. She's a Reiki healer and psychic, and she's one of our therapists in our office. And she's going to be in the office for a session or for a couple of episodes.
Is our feng shui okay?
So if you guys have questions in that area, see this is kind of out of my wheelhouse, but that's why we have a therapist who does this, because a lot of people want that type of therapy. And so next Monday at 8:00, she'll be here. So if you guys want to join us on Facebook, Motor City Hypnotist Facebook page. You can ask questions, be a part of the show. She'll be happy to answer any questions you have.
Love that.
Okay.
All right.
That is our show.
We'll see you next time.
All righty, folks. Change your thinking, change your life. Laugh hard, run fast, be kind. We'll see you next time.